Rangers football.
Well, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Coach's Corner. This is LaGrange High School style. I'm here with Coach Chuck Gibbs. And thank you, Greg. Rodney, I didn't get a clap out of you. Come on now. There you go. All right.
I thought my wife over there. Will you give us a clap?
No, she said no. She's not clapping for you under any circumstances. Actually, but your coach has made the whole room look a lot better because he's brought his wife in here tonight. That's definitely spruced up the place.
Yeah, you know, last week I thought I'd bring the visor for Tanner, and that didn't work. So this week I said, "The heck with it, man! I'm bringing my wife."
Go to the A game.
Hey, I've changed underwear 8 times, and I'm gonna keep finding that mystery recipe for a victory.
Whatever the recipe is, we'll keep shooting for it. Coach, falling to the Tigers 35-14. 2 weeks in a row, you face a highly state-ranked, undefeated team. And tell you what, I have not had a chance to watch you guys live. I watched a lot of on film. But I was really pretty impressed, especially with your defense, the way that they stepped up, especially as the game went on. Between the tackles, I didn't think that they were able to move the ball very well at all.
Yeah, I think we held them to their season low in total yards as well as rushing. I had two separate schemes coming in, and anytime you get into high school kids where you're trying to teach multiple schemes in a given week, you're gonna have failures and run fits, and you're gonna have personnel that don't necessarily pick up one versus the other. And so again, we went in with our pressure package, and everything's just a little bit different. And even though it makes the most sense for us, we weren't going to let Kobe run the ball on us. I think he had 45 yards rushing, for the whole game. And, we were going to make him throw, and we were going to pick and choose which receiver we were going to lock up and take out just to see if the pressure, along with, two covered receivers could, kind of get him off his game. We knew we could get some interceptions. We thought we'd come away with, 5 or 6. We came away with 4. And so again, defensive package, to defend a team that is as talented as they are, it's a crapshoot anyways. You can't guard them all. They got too many playmakers. And but we felt like we could at least play with them as long as we could. My hat was off to them. Defensively, they moved Thornton out from nose, and so they put Boykin in a 4-eye and a 3 technique, and Thornton on the other side, and with 2 big bodies out there, and King on one side, there was really no way we could even work our run game to even get anything established and try and keep Kobe off the field. And boy, that first quarter was, man, we were trying to figure it out. Our huddle sidelines was down, our headsets were out the whole game, and we literally were just scrambling and trying to figure it out. And so obviously we went to game plan 2, and that's our passing game. And we've been working on it. And again, hats off to our kids. They play their tails off, and the scoreboard's irrelevant. And that's one thing that blesses you as a coach is the scoreboard never dictates who they are as people. And they play as hard when we're up as they do when we're down, and our goal line stands and everything. And so our kids have a lot of resilience and heart, and with it, that those are kids that are going to fight for their marriages. They're going to fight for their families down the road, and those are the silver linings that to me is all about high school. Is that we know we're raising a bunch of young men, and they're getting those character lessons. And but again, it's one of those where they get frustrated with each other and start pointing fingers and start arguing amongst themselves, and they stayed locked in Friday night, and really pleased by the overall performance of that. Wasn't excited at the opening kickoff. Certainly, man, there's no way you can spot a team that's that good. 7 points.
Yeah. Well, Williams goes down the field, as you mentioned, scores. Martinez able to put the extra point on, and it had to be tough for the guys to kind of come back from just right there.
Same thing happened. Cedartown's only points in the game came in their first drive.
Right.
And we gave Cedartown their first two first downs in that first drive. Our defense jumped off sides. Cartersville came down. They scored in our first drive as well. So it's not like we hadn't been there before, but it's just one of those where we've got to come out of the gates, faster, with more intention, and it could very well be, me being a better coach, me being able to script our opening game, our opening series, so that we can get that first down, which we did against Troop once we got the football. But again, it's one of those where we're still a work in progress, and we're getting better each week. And, my hat's off to the offensive line. I know King was in our backfield all week, all night, and he's going to be. I mean, that kid's an SEC football player, and he's straight up dominant. But our offensive line, they played the best game they've played this year, and they played it against the most talented defense we've seen. Matter of fact, that's probably the most talented defense I've seen since I've been coaching high school football.
All right, we'll talk more about this ball game. We'll look ahead to what's coming up as we're listening to the Coach's Corner live here from Johnny's Pizza right here on Eagle Sports.
Hi, football fans. Jonathan Moose Map here from Glenn Smith in Opelika, Alabama. We love this time of year with all the excitement of football, and we also love that Glenn Smith can play a part in supporting high school sports. We support the team, the coaches, the band, the cheerleaders, and, of course, the families and the fans. At Glenn Smith, we're proud to be your local Chevrolet Buick and GMC dealer with over 500 new and used vehicles every day. Online 24/7 at glennsmith.com. That's Glenn Smith Chevrolet Buick GMC in Opelika. Get ready to smile.
There's a secret to beating injuries or ailments. Get the right team. Emory Southern Orthopedics' well-trained, experienced doctors, nurses, and staff are that team. These teammates listen and understand your specific condition and provide high-quality hometown care that will get you back into your game. For more information about Emory Southern Orthopedics team, visit www.southernorthopedics.com. Deciding to sell or buy a home is a big step. To make sure it's a step in the right direction, choose the person best qualified to handle your real estate needs. Joel and Rob Upchurch have been breaking sales records every year since 1997. They truly are the real estate leaders in West Georgia. So take a step in the right direction. Contact Joel or Rob Upchurch at RE/MAX Results because they are dedicated to results and converting transactions into relationships.
The Medicine Cabinet is excited to announce the opening of their third store in the Reeves Crossing community at 1704 Roanoke Road in LaGrange. Stop in and meet the staff. Pharmacist Tommy Whitworth will be leading the team. They offer home delivery inside city limits, a drive-through, and no long lines to wait in. Check out their medication compliance programs, a safe and efficient way to organize medications. Their coffee shop will be opening soon. The Medicine Cabinet is a locally owned pharmacy, plus a little more.
Now back to the Coach's Corner live with Johnny's New York Style Pizza on Eagle 102.3, WLAG 96.9 FM, 1240 AM, and online at eagle1023.com.
Welcome back to the Coach's Corner live from Johnny's Pizza. We're across from LaGrange Mall right here on Lafayette Parkway. I invite you to join us every Monday night, but of course come out here anytime to Johnny's Pizza. They got the lunch buffet that's going very, very well. I invite you to come out here and visit these great folks here at Johnny's Pizza. Because we're talking about the ball game between the Troop High School Tigers, LaGrange High School Grangers. One of the things that a lot of people have talked about since the ball game was the interceptions. You got a lot of pressure on Kobe. I think that got him off his game a little bit, and he had some guys in coverage ready to take the ball down.
Yeah, that was one of the defensive things. I talked to Kevin Eckleberry before the game, and, I really felt like we could create, some takeaways just based on, it's not reckless. He's not a reckless football player. Mm-hmm. It's just he extends the play, and a lot of times he'll throw balls up, and, you got a great program when you can throw the ball up and one of your receivers coming down with it. And, that's a big chunk of, their offense through the years. And touchdown passes have been almost busted plays where, he's able to extend plays with his legs, and he's strong. He's stronger than most running backs. He's faster than most running backs, and so you can't defend him with regular defensive ends, and you can't defend him with DBs. There's too much there. But then he extends the plays, and he can launch the ball 50, 60 yards downfield, and then he's got four great receivers that are downfield, and one of them's coming down with that football. And the way they play and the way they've been coached is, it's 3rd and 18 that they scored on them, and it was straight backyard football. Yeah. And man, they played it like they've run that play like 16 times. and you're sitting there and Kobe's scrambling to his right, and he throws the ball back across his
way back across the field.
Yeah, back across his shoulders, and it wasn't a good throw. And all of a sudden, boom, here comes 10 out from nowhere, and he's running by my guys, and my guys are tracking the quarterback, and I'm like, this cannot happen. Boom, touchdown. And, and all you can do is just kind of applaud, and you're like, man, that's when you got a great program where the kids are clicking, even when things don't work.
For a receiver to kind of realize what's going on for his quarterback and be able to come back and be there available to catch the ball.
But he didn't come back. He ran the opposite way.
Well, okay.
And so, you look at it, and you're like, okay, well, we're going to run a sprint right, and I'm going to have one receiver decide he's going to go left. And then he extends the play, and, 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 and I got a quarterback that's actually going to hit him, and just, you know, you can't, you don't script those up, and those aren't plays you regularly go practice against. You know, it's like, you know, that's why the reverse is a trick play,
right?
Because again, it's a counter play, and it's that reverse, and so some of these pass plays that hit them, and you know, you just stand there and kind of in awe, and you just clap because you know what, they made a great play, and you know, that's what happens when you play against great teams.
Early in the ball game, you know, as the Tigers were driving, you did get a good interception that about around the 3. Y'all picked up that interception.
I think Jacoby Smith took it right at the goal line.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Right at the goal line, and you know, we gave him, all the kids were giving him heck today. You know, just about not being able to, you know, make it turn into a 100-yard pick six. He picked the ball off in Hampton last play of the half, and he got tackled on their 4-yard line.
Oh.
And we were joking with him. I said, well, at least this time you didn't run 98 yards for nothing. But again, you know, it just goes to show the speed of the Troop Tigers, and you know, how relentless their wide receivers. They are straight competitors. They're jack boys if they were defensive players. They stalk block as good as anybody we've seen. They're tenacious coming off they've got an explosion. They come out of their breaks. They stalk block well. They play together well. They celebrate. There's no selfishness going on over on their sidelines that I can tell from an outsider looking in. And you know, when you see it, you know, you kind of get envious because you're like, you know, that's how we want our team. And you know, Tanner's done a great job building that culture. The kids that go and compete and play every you know, Friday night, and they expect to win.
Right.
And it's almost, you know, as soon as we got the pick, you know, you could almost see the switch go off, and you know, the receiver that lost the ball was not on my watch, and they were coming, and you know, so again, it's great to be able to compete against, you know, some of these top teams in the state. We want to win football games as high school guys, you know, and have a record that kind of mirrors our play. You know, certainly a 1-6 record right now. You know, there ain't a 1-6 team in the country that could compete with us the way we are. We're not playing like our record is. Our kids are getting after it, and again, it's just one of those. At some point in here, you know, the ball's going to bounce in our direction and in our favor. And our kids will get a little bit of success, and you know, I think that's been the break that we've needed all along, and it just hadn't come yet.
All right, we'll talk more about that when we come back. Right now, you listen to the Coach's Corner live here from Johnny's Pizza on Eagle Sports.
It is sell-down time at Nissan of LaGrange. Richard Cates here, General Manager with Nissan of LaGrange, and it's time to start moving out all of our 2018 inventory to make room for the 2019s. That means the best savings of the year are taking place right now. Have you been hesitant to look because you're waiting for the perfect time? Well, now is your chance. You can visit Nissan of LaGrange on the Parkway, or check us out where we are always open at nissanoflagrange.com. Visit soon to receive great pricing and the great experience our customers have come to expect. Nissan of LaGrange, your friendliest hometown dealer.
What do you see when you look at your home and your car? Do you see a bundle? A combo deal? That's how other insurance companies see them. But a State Farm agent sees so much more. Because a State Farm agent sees your home and your car as more than just 4 walls and 4 wheels. They see the things you've worked really hard for. So why not give them the protection they deserve?
Your State Farm agent is Matt Orr on the square in downtown LaGrange.
Deciding to sell or buy a home is a big step. To make sure it's the step in the right direction, choose the person best qualified to handle your real estate needs. Joel and Rob Upchurch have been breaking sales records every year since 1997. They truly are the real estate leaders in West Georgia. So take a step in the right direction. Contact Joel or Rob Upchurch at RE/MAX Results, because they are dedicated to results and converting transactions into relationships.
At Wellstar West Georgia Medical Center, we believe teamwork makes all the difference in your health. We believe that skilled people can achieve higher standards and exceptional results. We believe in a game plan that's focused on patient safety and quality care. At Wellstar West Georgia Medical Center in LaGrange, we believe in life well lived. To learn more about award-winning healthcare, visit wellstar.org/WGMC.
Now back to the Coach's Corner live at Johnny's New York Style Pizza on Eagle 102.3, WLAG 96.9 FM, 1240 AM, and online at eagle1023.com.
Welcome Welcome back to the Coach's Corner Live here from Johnny's Pizza. Coach, we were talking a little bit more about the game, then we'll start to look ahead. One of the things that I think was really impressive to a lot of folks was the combination of Crawford to Ogletree, especially late in the ball game. Ogletree, a couple of 30-plus yard receptions, 2 touchdowns, a 19-yarder, and then a 38-yarder. So, that's maybe that was your game plan going in. With some of the guys that you have over down, it's nice to see them kind of pick up that offense and have that other wrinkle. Yeah, certainly. You build out your game plan based on what you're going to anticipate them doing. Again, as I mentioned earlier, when they moved Thornton out to a 3/4 depending on which side he was leaning, that big old body, we were not going to establish a run game. Jonathan Sutton was out, Xavier Potts was out, and so when we had 2 starters out, it went to a point where we needed to really work. And then it gets to the question: can we pass protect with King coming off the edge, wide as he is, and he is so long, and he poses a problem. We can be a zone read team. The problem is getting the ball around him. The guy's got to have an 83, 84-inch wingspan, and but again, we knew with Jordan and his height. He's a basketball player, and he's a great basketball player. And when you match up against 6 foot, 5'11", DBs, it's a jump ball. And we've been telling him for weeks, Jordan, you got to get the rebound. He's had a couple touchdowns that have been called back for penalties, whether on him or on the offensive line, and it was one of those. And Friday night, we just grabbed the kids and said, "Look, guys, this is the game plan going out in the second half, and this is this is how we got to attack them that we can, generate some success." And again, they've got good enough athletes that they can play most teams cover 0 with no safety help. That means they're cramming the box, so they're going to force you to throw the ball to beat them, and they're going to throw the ball against an athletic defense. Tough to do, right. But Jordan was there. We tried to get our speedster, Dylan Norvell. I think he was the second fastest kid on the team. He had a couple good plays in the ball game as well. Tried to get him out there to see if we could, push the field vertically. Got behind him a few times, but we also had to account for King coming in the backfield, and it was hard to throw the ball. You let the ball go pretty quick. And again, and it's one of those where you build. I thought our kids were excited. They saw some growth in and amongst the team. We had a senior meeting today after football practice. And again, my apologies to our seniors for, not coming with a better game plan. The Central game, the Cedartown game, the losing by 3, dropping our opener to Hurd by 7. Games that we felt like if we could go back and do it, we're a 10-point favorite in these deals. I apologize to these kids that, we hadn't done a good enough job, but our season's not over. We actually still got a chance to finish 4th in our region. It's not a good chance, but we got to do our part, and our part's win the next 2 games. And we'll talk about that when we come back. We'll talk about what's on the road for the Grangers right here on Eagle Sports.
Jonathan Moose Map here from Glenn Smith in Opelika, Alabama. We love this time of year with all the excitement of football, and we also love that Glenn Smith can play a part in supporting high school sports. We support the team, the coaches, the band, the cheerleaders, and of course the families and the fans. At Glenn Smith, we're proud to be your local Chevrolet Buick and GMC dealer with over 500 new and used vehicles every day. Online 24/7 at glennsmith.com. That's Glenn Smith Chevrolet Buick GMC in Opelika. Get ready to smile.
There's a secret to beating injuries or ailments. Get the right team. Emory Southern Orthopedics' well-trained, experienced doctors, nurses, and staff are that team. These teammates listen and understand your specific condition and provide high-quality hometown care that will get you back into your game. For more information about Emory Southern Orthopedics team, visit www.southernorthopedics.com. Deciding to sell or buy a home is a big step. To make sure it's a step in the right direction, choose the person best qualified to handle your real estate needs. Joel and Rob Upchurch have been breaking sales records every year since 1997. They truly are the real estate leaders in West Georgia. So take a step in the right direction. Contact Joel or Rob Upchurch at RE/MAX Results because they are dedicated to results and converting transactions into relationships.
The Medicine Cabinet is excited to announce the opening of their third store in the Lee's Crossing community at 1704 Roanoke Road in LaGrange. Stop in and meet the staff. Pharmacist Tommy Whitworth will be leading the team. They offer home delivery inside city limits, a drive-thru, and no long lines to wait in. Check out their medication compliance programs, a safe and efficient way to organize medications. Their coffee shop will be opening soon. The Medicine Cabinet is a locally owned pharmacy, plus a little more.
Now back to Coach's Corner live at Johnny's New York Style Pizza on Eagle 102.3, WLAG 96.9 FM, 1240 AM, and online at eagle1023.com.
Welcome back to the Coach's Corner live from Johnny's Pizza. We're doing LaGrange High School style. I've got Coach Gibbs with me. Coach, 3 games left in the season, 2 left for our region, and then Shaw we close out with. But the first game coming up is this Thursday against Sandy Creek, who really didn't have a big offensive week this week. Was it Cedartown I think they took on?
No, they played Cartersville.
That's right.
They lost to Cartersville. Cartersville beat us 45-7 last week. And they played Cartersville to the wire. Cartersville beat them 7-0. They beat them with 3 minutes and 14 seconds left in the fourth quarter. And had a great showing. Coach Glisson, said it earlier. Sandy Creek's got athletic defensive backs in the secondary, and 2 really good defensive linemen. They're well coached. They run a 4-2-5 defensive front. They'll flip between an over and an under. They'll bring pressure off the edge. Very well coached program. Right now, I think they're sitting 4th in the region right now. But they've got games to play. They held troop to 35 points as well as we did, and so we've tied for who held troop to their lowest point total. Obviously, we did for their lowest yard total on the season, but. They're a talented team, and again, are they Cartersville? Well, they were almost Cartersville Friday night, as was Cedartown. When Cedartown played Cartersville,
right.
But boy, when we played Cartersville, we got a whole different squad. So I'm not sure what we need to do to go draw those others. For some reason, we seem to get the best out of every team we play. And that might be because of all the state championships that the past Grangers have won,
right?
And everybody wants to give us their best shot. But boy, we're taking it. But our kids aren't tapping out, and they're going to go through the rounds. Tough with a short week, but last week was a short week with us with the hurricane and everything. We lost Wednesday afternoon practice, and so again, it is what it is, and you got to play them. They're a run first or a pass first team. They do a lot of zone read. Their quarterback's athletic, but he's not Kobe Hudson.
Right.
And their receivers are athletic, but it's not Joko and Jamari and company. And so and their defense is athletic, and they play long in the back half, but that's not true. So I just it's one of those things where. Our guys got, it is what it is. That's who we drew. That's who we play, and it's 3 weeks in a row. But our kids are going to show up Thursday night, and I got a good feeling about it. Again, we can't control. If Cedartown wins out, not counting Troop, but if Cedartown beats Sandy Creek and Chapel Hill, and we win out, we're in the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
And we can only do what we can control the controllables. We got to show up Thursday night ready to play football, and that's offense, defense, and special teams. That's getting our passing game clicking. That's getting our run game back in. Hopefully we'll get 1 or 2 of our kids that have been out, our starters out. Hopefully we'll get them back Wednesday, if not Thursday, and get them in there and make sure we have our best game plan and our best foot forward to win our first region game.
For every time a program turns around, it takes a spark somewhere. Something happens that ignites the team, and this very well could happen on this week on a Thursday night.
Yeah, it's tough to make those quick turns, but we did it with Cedartown. On the heel of the Central game where we had 7 kids suspended. From the previous game, right. and they had to sit out, and we were shorthanded going into Cedartown. And that was a 9-6 ball game. They scored on their first possession, and that was their points of the night, short of our snafu on our safety, and but hey, it is, and they're a great football program. They got a great tradition up there. They're big, and the defense plays hard, and they're expecting to finish 3rd in our region, and we're going to do what we can to see if we can get that first region win Thursday night.
One more thing I want to do is kind of give a shout out to some of the younger guys, Coach. We've talked all season long about some of the Monday nights as our younger guys have been playing, but also even down to the middle school level. Big ball game earlier this week. I think that was a Thursday night. Possibly Thursday. I can't really remember now, but my wife was at the ball game. She was texting me the whole time. It was Long Cane and Gardner Newman played, and Gardner Newman came away with a big win.
Yeah, I think our 7th and 8th grade boys both upset, Long Cane's middle school program, which is, troops feeder. And, again, these are kids, and, they grow up together and they play together in rec ball and different leagues, whether it's travel baseball or basketball and all these different leagues. And then, they pit off in middle school and, they start to build their camaraderie with their classmates, and hopefully the middle schools are where the kids are going to go into high school. We've got talented kids. Obviously there's kids from Troop that are playing on our team. There's kids from our team that are playing at Callaway and playing at Troop, and vice versa. And so certain kids and certain families move around just based on what their family needs are and the other stuff. But at the end of the day, we're a community, and there's no mistake that Troop County is one of the best counties for football in the state of Georgia.
Oh yeah.
And we're trying to do our part to retain our talent and build up. And obviously, we talk about having a bright future, and it starts with a weight room and a year-round program, and leadership academies, and really working on these kids. Working on some of those extracurricular activities that don't necessarily deal directly with football, but it deals directly with building character and integrity in young men. And that's what some of our coaches down at the middle school are doing, and they're having success. And again, success breeds success. Troop's a prime example of it.
Yep. And we hope that success can kick off going this Thursday night. I invite you to listen here on Eagle Sports. We'll be carrying the ball game for you. Coach, we appreciate you joining us again on a great night. Hopefully we'll be able to talk about a win coming up next Monday.
Outstanding.
All right. Thank you, folks, for joining us. This has been the Coach's Corner live here from Johnny's Pizza, and we'll see you next week on the radio.
Hey, folks, T.O. Double D, Todd Perry.